This video is going to explain a few examples of ratios and proportions. I will be using a calculator on some of these as they require more in-depth arithmetic. Okay, so the first one reads, friends Michael, Juan, and Josh go out to eat. The money that they have together, it's assumed, is in the ratio of 2 to 4 to 6. Juan has $36. How much do they have in total? Let me change that to has. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we know that this is in, the first thing that I would do is figure out that this is in 2 to 4 to 6, so that is 12 parts. Now, it says Juan has $36. So usually what I do is I put under here Michael, Juan, and Josh. So Juan has 4 parts, and his 4 parts equals $36. So we're going to say 36 divided by 4, so each part is worth $9. So therefore Michael has 2 times 9, which is 18. Juan has 4 times 9, or we already know that he has 36. And Josh has 6 times 9. He's got 54 parts. So when we add all these up, 36 plus 54 is 90, plus another 18 is 108. So they have a total of $108. Josh spends $18 on dinner. How much does he have left? Well, of course, you just do at this point 54 minus 18, which is $36. Okay? Give you a minute to... Oh, I'm sorry, wait a minute. I think I did that wrong. Yeah. That was $36. Okay? Now let's go to the next one. Maria makes $2,000 per month. She spends 1/5 of this on her car payment. The rest is spent on rent, gas, and groceries in a ratio of 3 to 1 to 2. How much does she spend on groceries? So she makes $2,000 per month. She spends 1/5 of this on her car payment. So 2,000 times 1/5. So that will go into that. So she spends $400 on her car payment. Okay, the rest. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say 2,000 minus 400 is 1,600. The rest is spent on rent, gas, and groceries in a ratio of 3 to 1 to 2. So that's a total of 6 parts. So how much does she spend in groceries? So we would have to say 1,600 divided by 6. So that's going to give me approximately $266.67 per part. So how much does she spend on groceries? So the groceries is 2 parts, so I'm going to multiply that by 2. and she spends approximately $533.33 on groceries. Okay, let's look at the next one. Now this is an actual test question that was on a test a few years ago, so I'm going to walk you through it. I will be using a calculator on this one. Maria, Carolina, and Pedro receive $800 from their grandmother in a ratio of 7 to 5 to 4. So 7 plus 5 is 12, plus 4 is 16 parts. Calculate how much money each receives. So Maria would be 7 times 16. That's 112. Carolina is 5 times 16. And that's 80. And Pedro wait a minute, I'm not doing that correctly. Sorry about that. Let me start over. I skipped a step. So 16, each part is 800 divided by 16. Part of what gave it away to me is that I knew I wasn't going to add up to $800. So I knew I had done something wrong. So each part is worth $50. That's a little bit better. So Maria is 7 times 50, or $350. Carolina is 5 times 50, or $250. And Pedro is, sorry, let me clean that up a little bit. Pedro is 4 times 50, or $200. So let me make sure all these add up to 800. 350 plus 250 is 600, plus 200 is 800. Now, Maria spends 2/7 of her money and then invests the rest for 2 years at 5% simple interest. How much money does Maria have at the end of 2 years? Now, simple interest is something that we've done, but it's been a while, so I really want you to take note. So Maria has $350. I'm going to multiply that by 2/7. So that gives me $100 that she invests. She spends 2/7 of her money and invests the rest. So she spends 2/7, which means she spends 100 and she invests the rest. So she invests 250. So this is how much she spends, and she's going to invest $250. Simple interest. Well, simple interest formula is I equals PRT over 100. Okay, so to find the interest, we know she invests $250 at a rate of 5%, 2 years over 100. So please use your fraction key for this. 250 times 5 times 2 divided by 100 means that she has earned $25 in interest. But that's not what they're asking. They're asking how much money does she have at the end of 2 years. So you take the invested amount, you add the interest, so the total after the 2 years is $275 because she has her invested amount plus her interest. All right, Carolina spends all of her money on a hi-fi set and 2 years later sells it at a loss of 20%. So Carolina had $250. Okay, 2 years later she sells at a loss of 20%. So she loses 20% or she maintains 80%, doesn't matter. you can multiply 250 times 0.2, which is 50, and then subtract that. So it says that she's got $200 at the end of 2 years. Or the other thing that you can do is say, okay, she took a loss. A loss is away from 100, so she still maintained 80%. So 250 times 0.8 would be 200. Either way, I get $200. So now I've got Maria has 275. Carolina has 200. Okay. Pedro spends some of his money, and at the end of 2 years, he has $100. That's all he's got left. Write down and simplify the ratio of the amounts of money Maria, Carolina, and Pedro have at the end of 2 years. So I've got Maria, Carolina, and Pedro. Maria has $275. Carolina has $200. And Pedro has $100. So when they want you to simplify the ratio, you have to find the greatest common factor. So the greatest common factor here would be $25. So you're going to divide by 25 each time. That would be a ratio, it's just simplifying a fraction. That would be a ratio of 11. So 275 divided by 25, I'm running out of space down here. 275 divided by 25. 200 divided by 25. Sorry, that would be 8. I'm looking ahead of myself. And 100 divided by 25 is 4. So 11 to 8 to 4 is the new ratio. So I hope that helps you with the majority of your homework.